Right. Let's check how did this happen. Yeah, this seems to be very hot topic. One of the first round games between Alexei Shirov against with white against Pintala Krishna, they played it exactly the same way. Knight c6, short castle, queen b1, queen b2, queen e1. We are not gonna cite you the entire theoretical part of this. I'll tell you honestly, I even don't know this. Right? I just know this is highly topical stuff. White sacrifices the pawn on b2, also the pawn on c2, and somehow tries to capitalize on the huge lead in development. But the modern theory says that black is doing okay. So let's just trust him. Takes, bishop b4, knight d to b5. Yeah, this is huge theory as far as I know.
Yeah, I also seem to recall, I'm just trying to look it up, because I seem to remember this position having been played in the recent Tata Steel, but I can't quite find it, so I might be wrong there.
Yeah, but Daniil Dubov is really a household name when it comes to original ideas. So I guess at some point he did play something new. Rook b1 makes sense. Rook c1, queen b2, invitation to a draw. No, wait, that's not a draw. Rook b1 is impossible. Knight a4 here, takes on b2. So this is temporarily a loss of 2 pawns. Knight e6, this I recall. Knight b7, all of this has been played before. I've seen this position. Bishop d8, takes, and rook f to d1. And I'm not sure about this position, but still I believe both players still should be within the preparation. But I assume that since Vincent is taking a little time, something is new.
Yes, because we were told that Rossmann on move 20 in this 20 rook f to d1. Here, there had been a previous game where black had gone with knight h6, but instead Keymer decided to go for rook b8.
So here, rook b8 was played by Vincent.
Yeah, attacking the knight, and now the knight goes to c4. Of course, it's not possible to take the knight on c4 as the pawn is pinned. And g5, another one of these very thematic pushes, which we see. It's kind of a French structure, though the bishop is outside the pawn chain, but it doesn't make it less thematic. Trying to gain a little bit more space on the king side. Though what I don't really like about this move is that black still needs to get some development. And I don't know how much of a problem it is in this position. But it still feels to me like white's pieces are so active, they're so well coordinated. And if black doesn't develop the knight on g8 or the rook on h8, black is pretty much just playing with less pieces than white here. So I don't know if g5 was completely necessary or if there was something else that Keymer could have played. But we did, it did feel like, I wouldn't say that we called this, but the position just felt so much more easy for white to play, despite black having that extra pawn. It was like we could almost only find good moves for white. Yeah.
And this g4 is a great move. It stops knight f5 from happening either after knight h6 or knight e7. White makes sure this knight here is gonna remain. And now rook b6 was played by Keymer, and it really asks the question, why can't you play something like knight c8? If there's something wrong with this, because I want to trade it and play king d7.
Okay, is there any...
Not that I see immediately, because
so if we take and go rook b1.
Yeah, but this is an achievement for black, right? We can try to use your idea, which you mentioned before. This
I was just thinking that I get rook b7 very quickly.
Right, takes here, rook b1, king e7, rook b7, king f8, rook a7, king g7. No, I think black is just fine here.
Yeah, probably.
Doesn't feel much. For white, despite the fact that he has the outside pass pawn.
To do better, as we see rook b8 on the board, but this
is the white flag essentially, because already in quite a difficult position, black just wasted 2 tempos. Rook b6, rook b8. And this is like a complete deja vu with yesterday. He was also completely pinned down against Aronian. He was playing this rook c6, rook, what was it? I already forgot. Rook c6, rook c8, rook c6, rook c8, and the position just collapses. And today is exactly the same, all over again. So again, his pieces are completely tied. This time he has this useless extra pawn on d5, which doesn't help him. And there's just no easy way to untie. So I don't know what he's going to do after something like rook a4. Rook a8?
Why are people saying knight b7 checkmate? I'm very confused.
Checkmate. No. Knight c8 loses. Knight c8 loses. You just take with the rook.
Oh, no. After rook a8. Though the first move was wrong.
What?
In this position, knight b7 is just rook a8, knight b7.
Oh my goodness, I'm not seeing this. Yeah, you're right. Knight b7 is made on the board.
Okay, but that was not the knight c8 that we were looking at. That's why we got confused.
Yeah. Knight b7, so that loses, and knight c8 is another checkmate. Takes, rook a7. That's it. That's a checkmate.
Yeah.
Rook a7 drops something.
Yes.
Maybe some. No, there's no chances, because after taking the rook, there's still the checkmate. You have no time to push the pawn. That's it. Vincent is losing this one. No chances whatsoever. Quite paradoxical, right? I mean, he has the extra pawn, seemingly healthy position, but it's the king. It's the king, right? If the king was standing here, black is just doing great. She just plays king g7. That's it. It's just great. Give up the pawn on a7. Everything is good. King on d8, you can't checkmate without the queen, and this is a perfect example. What a game by Dubov.
Maybe get a few points in his group, though. Aronian is doing quite well, and Aronian is the one to be stopped.
Yeah, we already showed this line. So rook c8, rook a7. There's a checkmate on d7, so black loses a piece to avoid the checkmate. Just down a piece, resignation. There's a fork. Yeah, unfortunately for Vincent, there was nothing to do, really. I mean, he just was, again, unfortunately, on the wrong side of a brilliant squeeze.